We're now joined by Tim Sullivan, Chief Executive Officer at the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Their website will be up. Good to see you, Tim.
Great to see you, Steve. Thanks for having me on.
We're having you on, and right before Thanksgiving 2023, you took a little trip to East Asia. Is that right?
Yeah, the governor and the first lady led a huge delegation to Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. We had a great trip.
Purpose of the trip, A, and B, what does New Jersey get out of it?
Broadly, economic development and business development, drumming up business for the state. We had a really, really productive trip. We came back with, briefcases full of business cards and lots of different leads. And also, reintroducing New Jersey to those three places. Those are places New Jersey has longstanding business and cultural ties. And reintroducing New Jersey and telling the story of the momentum we have going on, under Governor Murphy's leadership.
And just to be clear, I believe Choose New Jersey underwrites that trip. Is that correct?
Yeah, Choose is the key player there. Wes Matthews and his team are great partners, and we had a great trip.
And speaking of underwriting, the Economic Development Authority is an underwriter of our programming. Tim, let me try this. I'm curious about this. When it comes to economic development in New Jersey, the issue of affordability. We've had so many business leaders on, from the Business and Industry Association, from the Chamber of Commerce, from the Commerce and Industry Association. Affordability for businesses in New Jersey. A, do you appreciate and empathize with those who say that in business? And B, be specific about what help the EDA and the state is offering in that regard.
I'd say, broadly speaking, yeah, affordability is a huge issue, not just for businesses, but for families here in New Jersey. Why you've seen Governor Murphy and the legislature be so focused on it with things like the anchor property tax rebate and trying to drive property taxes, get those under control. And make those more affordable. And so broadly, I think, yeah, of course, that's an issue. But the issues that we hear most about when we're trying to recruit businesses, whether in East Asia or, in Pennsylvania or New Jersey or New York, trying to come here or stay here, it's about talent, it's about location, it's about values, and, making sure that they can find the workforce that they need. And so, where people are choosing to live matters a lot, so that our population's continuing to grow, that we're still continuing to welcome people from other countries to live in New Jersey is a really important part of that dynamic.
What is the Aspire program?
So Aspire is a really important tool that Governor Murphy signed into law in early 2021 to support, broadly speaking, real estate development, a lot of housing, a lot of mixed use, a lot of lab space and commercial space to support the innovation economy. And it's a gap financing tool that helps make the math work for developers to include things like affordability, affordable housing in residential projects, or to make sure that we have the right, that the investment makes sense for the developers.
Again, we'll put up the website for the EDA, the Economic Development Authority, because one of the other programs I'm curious about, talked about it before, the New Jersey Innovation Evergreen Fund. A, what is it? How much money is in it? And who the heck is eligible?
So the Innovation Evergreen Fund is a game changer, we think. Governor Murphy announced this idea a few years ago, and it's now up and running, and we'd actually just made its first investment in October. So it's about investing in early stage companies that are either in New Jersey and want to do their growing here, or are from outside New Jersey and want to come and bring their headquarters here and do their growing. So early stage companies, primarily in things like technology, life sciences, clean energy, kind of high growth industries, where we see an opportunity for huge job creation. And these are equity investments from the state.
What does that mean?
We're going to own a piece of the company. We're going to invest alongside private sector venture capitalists, and if we help create the next Tesla or the next Facebook or the next whatever, the state taxpayers will participate in those returns as well, in addition to getting the job creation benefits.
Shift gears. I know I've touched base on this issue before with you, Tim, but I want to bring it up again because it feels like it's more important than ever before, and it's accessible, affordable childcare. Reimagine childcare, the graphic will come up. It's been 5 years that we've been involved in this public awareness effort. And I often struggle because we're not in the business of advocacy, but we are in the business of public awareness. Where's the line? Not sure. Here's the question. Explain to folks the direct, very clear relationship between a quality, affordable, accessible childcare for families and economic strength, economic development, the viability of the business community to have employees who work. What's the connection, A and B? Why the heck isn't there more attention paid to it?
Yeah, I wish there was more attention paid to it. You know, Governor Murphy and First Lady Tammy Murphy have been banging the drum on this for as long as I can remember, but it's still an issue that, you know, needs, I think, clarifying. Yeah, I think childcare gets often misunderstood or mischaracterized as something other than a core
It's
economic
daycare.
infrastructure.
It's daycare, which often people use that phrase to minimize it, but go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, my kids have been in the childcare system, and you know, God bless early childhood educators who do
We've
great
had
work.
4 gone through, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's an amazing group of people who do, you know, tremendous work. It's economic infrastructure. If your workforce doesn't have a place for their kids to go and be safe and well taken care of and educated, they're not going to go. They can't go to work. And we saw that during the pandemic. We saw that, you know, we see that even back in sort of in normal times. If there's not a place for kids to go, parents don't feel safe or comfortable entering the workforce. You know, women, men, it's disproportionately women, but that's true for everybody. And so it's economic infrastructure. If the childcare system isn't working, if it's not safe and affordable and reliable, it's as if the electricity's not running or the subway's not or the trains aren't running. You can't get people to and from work, and the economy just doesn't function without it.
Go on our website, steveadubato.org, look at previous programs under the umbrella Reimagine Childcare. Again, I'm going to switch gears again. So Ørsted, I believe, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, the largest wind energy producer, I think, in the world.
Yep.
Pretty big, right?
One of the big players. Yep.
New Jersey bet on Ørsted. There's an effort to stabilize the situation and get them some resources through, I don't know whether it's a bailout, I don't know what the heck it was. But the bottom line is, after the governor makes that move, Ørsted's a big part of the wind energy program, the governor's larger clean energy program. They're like, we're out of here. It doesn't make sense economically. The supply chain is screwed up. Inflation's what it is. We're out. Are you kidding me? A, were you shocked? B, now what as it relates to wind energy?
Yeah, I think if you saw the governor's statement on Halloween, which is when this news broke, I think you saw two sentiments at the same time. One, pretty significant frustration. You know, the governor chooses his words pretty carefully, and those words were pretty direct about being frustrated with the decision that Ørsted made, and that's certainly a frustration that I share. That being said, wind energy is about a lot more than one company. Ørsted's certainly a big player, but we have other projects that are proceeding. The BPU right now is evaluating bids for the next round of offshore wind projects. You've seen projects moving forward in New York. And so broadly speaking, you know, the future remains bright for offshore wind, but this is a setback.
Tim, all right, I appreciate that, but you don't believe it's dead because Ørsted says the economics don't work. If it doesn't work for them, why would it work for another wind energy company?
So these are very project specific. So projects that were sort of crafted and put together either before the pandemic, which is the case for Ocean Wind 1, or sort of early pandemic, Ocean Wind 2, before interest rates went up 2 or 3 times, before inflation, you know, hit, they're just priced wrong. And you've seen that up and down the East Coast, where you've seen projects having to either reboot or get canceled and come back and live to see another day. You know, Ørsted made the decision they made, which is disappointing and frustrating. But broadly speaking, there's going to be there is a bright future for new products that are conceived sort of post-pandemic, post-interest rate inflation, et cetera.
Let's make sure we keep talking about it in the future, okay?
Absolutely.
Tim Sullivan, Chief Executive Officer of the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Thanks, Tim.
Great to be with you, Steve. Talk to you soon.
You got to stay with us. We'll be right back.
At the Community Food Bank of New Jersey.
We are working.
Now, more than ever.
To fill the emptiness caused by hunger.
We are the state's largest anti-hunger organization.
And together with our 800+ community partners,
We are committed to delivering food,
Help.
And hope.
to our hundreds and thousands of neighbors in need.
Also brought to you by Seton Hall University, showing the world what great minds can do since 1856. PSEG Foundation, Community Food Bank of New Jersey, New Jersey's Clean Energy Program, lighting the way to a clean energy future. New Brunswick Development Corporation, the Russell Berry Foundation, making a difference. The Fidelco Group, Holy Name, and by PSC, where your story is our business.